You know, when you have an RC like this, you're gonna be using automotive tools, guys, so here we go. Introducing the new Primal MT coffee table, perfect for enjoying your pizza on. Okay, I'm gonna pull the pull start for the first time. Sounds like it's farting. You guys hear that? Yep, it's farting. Let's see what the chain drive looks like. Oh yeah, there it is. The wheelbase is exactly the size of one New York large pizza. What's up, guys? Welcome back. In this part, we're gonna do a lot of tests, what I like to call the pre-start test. We're gonna check inside of the cylinder with my boroscope right over here. We're gonna look at the engine as it is brand new. We're gonna put some 3-in-1 oil. We're gonna spin it, take a look at the ports. We're also gonna do a compression test with my compression tester. I love doing this stuff on RC, so we all have a baseline on what to expect and compare it to other RCs. I'm also going to be checking for spark. Now this thing has a kill switch, so we're going to see whether the kill switch actually cuts spark when I remove the spark plug and test it like I normally do. That's going to be something curious for me to see, and I'm sure for you guys too. So let's get to it. Let's take the body off, see what it's got. To get some good access to this truck, it is best to work with the body off. As I showed before, it's really easy to do that. You just basically take the sides, pull it out a little bit, like about an inch, and the body comes off. It has its own internal built roll cage. It is very rigid for this scale of RC. I really like that. Working on this truck might require you sitting on the floor like I am right now. This is a huge beast. It is heavy. For me to lift this on the table, I'm going to have to take some energy out of my day that I'm going to be saving later for some weightlifting, right? So if sitting on the floor to do a lot of this pre-run maintenance is what it takes, that's what I'm willing to do for you guys. This kind of design is very good for structural integrity and rigidity. There's a reason why the original HPI Savage uses the twin vertical plate design. That's because the vertical structure is pretty much impossible to fold over itself. One of the main issues with the Bajas and any kind of pan style chassis not like this is when they take landings from big jumps, yeah, the chassis tends to bend. You usually need a lot of reinforcements for those RCs. In this case, this twin vertical plate style design, just like the HPI Savage, is what makes this extremely rigid and unique. Now, of course, you're gonna have to know your geometry to work on a chassis this intricate. There's gonna be a lot of angles involved, and I'm gonna be pretty much flipping this every single direction to get to any point I want on here. But first thing I'm gonna try to get at is the air filter. I'm gonna try to disconnect it. Let's see if I can flip this with all the 4 wheels on and kind of have it on its side right over here. Okay, all right, here we go. Here we go. Looks like if I just lean it back against the couch, it is pretty horizontal, and it should be okay to work on and get at. Nothing really in the way here. So I guess with the wheels on, just have something to lean it against like this on the couch. You know, you don't even need this fuel can. This thing basically dwarfs the fuel can. Look at that. The air filter is right here. There's only one hose clamp to get it off. Should be a piece of cake. Removing the air filter is quite easy. There's just one automotive style hose clamp. I already like the sound of that. Automotive style. Yeah, it slides right off. There it goes. Very easy in terms of maintenance. The air filter is just enormous, guys. This outside piece is just the extra second layer. I guess you'd call this a dual stage air cover. The only part I'm actually going to be oiling is this inside piece right here. Here is a look inside. The air filter, really interesting design, not at all like any other Fitzgill I've seen. Right now we're looking at the velocity stack on the carb. The only RC I'm aware of that comes with an actual velocity stack. Really nice. So one of the main things that people do is remove the choke. Right now the choke is in the off position. You could tell that the Venturi is seen. So if I put the choke on and engage it, you see that? It basically closes up the carburetor. And this is one of the weak points on this car. I'm just gonna leave the choke in for now because I don't wanna remove any of this. For the break-in process, I'm not gonna run this in dirt or anything like that, so it should be fine. This is the way the choke itself works. There you go, see it visibly. Now, if I press the carburetor open manually on top, you guys see that as I open it up, there it goes. That's how the carburetor actually opens and lets air in. So when the thing is applying throttle, this is literally what happens. Pretty cool system. The way this engine is mounted, the primer bulb is on the bottom, but this is a very unique engine layout and design, not at all like pretty much any other fifth-scale RC. This is a reed valve engine, therefore it develops a lot of really good torque at the low end, which a truck like this needs for crawling and jumping and crushing stuff. There we go, the filter is oiled. I'm gonna slide this second layer dust cover on and put the filter back on. The truck is back on its wheels, normal position. I'm going to remove the spark plug boot. It looks like this cross member will be in the way. Let's see if I can jiggle this out of here somehow. Maybe this will be easy to remove and I don't have to remove any of the extra components. Okay, it's really, really close and tight, but let's see if I can kind of push down a little bit. Yeah, it seems to be okay. So, not the easiest to remove, but I gotta say this thing is extremely secure. Here we go, we removed it. Let's look inside. Pretty substantial rubber material in there. I can see the way it's attached to the spark plug. You're not gonna have any issues with this plug boot coming off. The wire itself is also relatively thick, much thicker than a typical fifth scale RC. I really like the system, not bad. The standard plug wrench does not fit in any direction here, you know, without removing part of this cross member brace. Now, no matter what you do from the top, from the side, from the bottom, it does not fit. I tried everything possible. It's almost making it, but it isn't. What I'm gonna be doing is using part of an automotive tool set. This is a 5/8 wrench. You know, when you have an RC like this, you're gonna be using automotive tools, guys. So here we go, 5/8 wrench. Gonna undo the plug. In reality, you only need a little bit of a twist here, so it's not the end of the world. Here we go. Oh yeah, we made it. See that? You only really needed a little bit. And then we can remove the plug, look inside the engine, put a couple drops of 3-in-1 oil, and check it out. Okay, the plug is normal. I don't see any kind of weird issues on it. It is not rusty. I've actually seen plugs that came in Red Cats that were rusty on the tip, literally from the factory. This one seems to be in really good shape. We're gonna be using it. The plug says J ditch. Not sure what that is. It is not an NGK A7TC. I do have a couple of NGK plugs, but we're gonna run this one right now because I'm interested to see how it runs in standard stock form without me modifying anything. That's also one of the reasons I am not going to be removing the choke right now. I was going to use my spark tester tool to bridge the gap and not have to worry about finding metal parts, but notice the spark plug right here. So this is the one that comes in the Primal MT. This is a basic NGK CMR 7H used in every other fit scale. It is a completely different and unique design. You could tell the way it attaches to the top of the plug is totally different. This is like a screw style thing. Maybe it'll be more secure, only time will tell. The electrodes seem to be basically the same, but the length of this plug that comes in a Primal is much longer. The NGK does thread into the car. I just checked. It looks to be exactly the same distance in terms of how far the electrode is from the mounting position. I'm not sure if anyone's gonna try one of these. I'm not gonna be the test dummy. This is way too much money. We're gonna stick with the standard plug. We could just check the spark on the car as it is and avoid having to use this fantastic tool that the RC analyst loves. Now I'm going to test for spark. To test for spark, clearly this thing has a kill switch, so the system has to be on. The LED is green, the remote is on, otherwise we will not have spark going to the plug. Now let's see if there's any spark generated. My hands are holding the boot, not the metal part. I don't want to get shocked. I don't think it's worth it, although this kind of money I spent, it might be just worth it. Okay, let's see how it is. There we go. I see spark. It's sparking. Good amount of visible spark. Let's now try that with the ignition cutoff. I'm going to press a third channel. The LED is blinking red on the kill switch. Let's see if that actually cuts the spark. Here we go. No spark. Terrific. So the kill switch did cut the spark. We just visually verified it. I did notice there was no spark with the kill switch blinking. Terrific. Now I'm going to do a compression test. I expect it to be a little bit more than 120. My Red Cat and my Rovens were about 135. Let's see what this is. Here we go. There it is, guys. Wow. 150 PSI. That is exceptional. This is a great engine. I know it's going to be fun to start. Now, the person helping me pull it is also a bodybuilder, so give him a thumbs up. I have my borescope connected to the computer. Before I put this 3-in-1 oil, let's just check inside the cylinder. It's a relatively uncomfortable position. I don't know how I'm going to pour this in this position. I'm going to have to move it. Maybe I'll squirt some WD-40 in there. But let's take a look inside the cylinder itself, see what kind of condition it is before we put any oil in it and do a little bit of the pre-run maintenance. WD-40 always gets in there. Okay, I'm going to pull the pull start for the first time. I didn't want to do it on a dry engine. Okay, it spins over. I could feel a good amount of compression really coming from this. Sounds like it's farting. You guys hear that? Yep, it's farting. It's Primal MT fart. Let me get it all the way at the bottom so we get the best view. Oh yeah, here we go. You guys see that? We're looking at the ports right now, right over here. They are clean. You can see a little bit of that oil I put in just now with the WD-40. This arrow here at the bottom, let's see if we could spin it. It should always be pointing to the largest port, which is the exhaust port. And yeah, it clearly is the largest port. All the other ones are just small transfer and intake ports. We can't see any of the reed valve system here right now because you know, it's basically on the bottom of the crankcase. Okay, here's a good view. I'm gonna pull the pull start. We could see it move. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Where else are you gonna see this on YouTube? Nowhere. Let's remove the chain drive mechanism. I've removed 2 bolts on the top and bottom. This is just a cover. Let's see what the chain drive looks like. Oh yeah, there it is. Here is the chain itself. These are not the gears that you replace for higher speed or more torque. They are in a different part of this transmission. This is just the chain drive system itself. It looks to be really, really well oiled. They are ball bearing supported here. There's one, and there's one on top of this case. It came off kind of together. As I spin the drive shaft, watch my left hand right here. I'm going to spin the drive shaft. You could tell that the gears on the chain are spinning really fluidly, efficiently, smooth. It looks to be kind of a pretty hefty, large chain. As you look closely, you could tell there are 2 individual sprockets. Let me spin it here for you guys. You could see that. So I'm not quite sure if this is a single chain. Yeah, it looks like it's a single chain, but there are 2 individual sprockets on the shaft. Pretty unique design. The last time I've seen this done in a modern RC was the Kyosho Mad Force. Nice. Clearly the T-Max is dwarfed by the Primal. It literally is on the hood of the truck right now. After doing all that maintenance, I think the Primal is being nice to me. I finally got a seat on the couch. I feel like a human being again. In the next part, I guarantee you guys, we are gonna start this thing up. I know it's taking me a while to cover a lot of these first intro videos, but it's very important. It's once in a while, I would say once in a lifetime maybe, that you're gonna experience such a cool, unique gas RC come out. Now, yes, I know other channels have already broke it in, they've bashed it, they've jumped it, they've already determined it's not fast. Guess what? I already knew it's not fast, but there are speed gears included with this, and guess what? I'm gonna check the actual speed on that. I'm gonna check the actual RPM. I'm gonna check everything that I can. Why? Because I am the RC journalist, and I do this for you guys, and mostly for me, because I care. There it is. Thanks so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. The more you subscribe, the happier I am. I'm not quite sure what it does for the channel, but it makes me happy to see the number go up. Till next time. The Primal RC Prius is also my lunch table. There we go. Some nice sesame chicken, ginger ale, and of course, you know, the Red Cat racing cone, because yeah, I am building right now, building some fat in the body. Could you use it as a coffee table to eat your pizza from? Let's see. It seems to be the perfect height for a coffee table. There you go. Yeah. I think this is better than the Top Gear coffee table that they have on their show. This is the Primal MT coffee table that I'm enjoying my pizza from right now.